Hello and welcome to Sterling Gamer with me, Sterling, and welcome to Retrospectives, a show where we talk about video games, their history, and their culture. I've always been a gamer, ever since I was super young. The Wii in particular was my favorite console growing up. It had New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Donkey Kong Country Returns, and Super Mario Galaxy. Now you may notice those were all first-party games. That's not all I played. My favorite third-party game was Sonic Colors. A masterclass in 3D Sonic games, and my favorite Sonic game ever. The quality of Sonic games is super spotty, to say the least. But what might be more spotty is if a game has an interesting story behind it. And this game comes out with flying colors. That was a horrible, horrible joke! Our story begins with Sonic 06. Now put the pitchforks down, stop writing that angry comments, and hear me out, okay? Sega wanted this to be a huge game that all future Sonic games would use as a blueprint. Stop! It was to come out on every major console at the time. The Xbox 360, the PS3, and Nintendo's new console, codenamed the Revolution. Work continued, and Nintendo announced their new console. Its official name was the Wii. They also announced it would be ridiculously weak. For those who don't know, the Wii is essentially a GameCube, but with a bigger disc drive. Sega panicked that the game would be too complex for the Wii, and they would lose a third of their possible demographic. To compensate, they split the already overworked Sonic team in two. One half finishing Sonic 06, while the other half went off to make a new game built from the ground up for the Wii. This new game turned out to be Sonic and the Secret Rings. Guess what? Both games flopped hard. Sonic 06 is obvious, and Sonic and the Secret Rings flopped for being temple run, but boring and having a narrative story instead of being infinite. Fans were super mad at Sega, so they set both teams off making new Sonic games. The Sonic 06 team reworked 3D Sonic again, making Sonic Unleashed. I have never played this game, but I heard it is amazing. As of recording this video, every mainline 3D Sonic since then has copied Unleashed's game style. Linear levels so you could blast through at insane speeds. A boost meter that gets filled by rings that turn you into an invincible blue blur, just as Sonic has always wanted. There are also werehog segments in the game, which I heard people don't like as much, but I also heard it doesn't bog the experience down too much. Sega struck gold with this game. See if the Wii team did the same. Really, guys? Sonic and the Black Knight, a sequel to Secret Rings, but you have a sword this time. It also established these games as a series dubbed the Sonic Storybook series. Wanna know how many games are made in the series after this? During the creation of these games, the Wii had blown up, becoming the best-selling console of this generation. Sega was not blind to this, and merged the two pieces of Sonic team back into one. The Wii team could make a game for the GameCube Big Disc Edition, and the Unleashed team could make a game. Their new goal was to make a Sonic Unleashed style game built for the Wii. They had some goals to set them on the right track. The majority of the Wii's install base was casual, so the game needed to be easy. It also needed to appeal to Mario fans to ride the success of the recent side game, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. When they announced their plans, Sonic fans were not happy, so Sega decided to make sure that all fans would enjoy the game. They also looked at the biggest criticism with Sonic Unleashed, the werehog parts, and decided that Sonic would be the only playable character. They still wanted varied gameplay, so they made a bunch of short-use power-ups. The game's goals set in place, production started. One early idea for the game was to have it take place in an amusement park. Only problem is that would be way too small. So they decided to get more space by literally moving the idea to space. An interstellar amusement park would open up a ton of freedom for level design, and the developers did not disappoint. After all this, we get Sonic Colors. So, why is this my favorite Sonic game? Because it's just super duper fun all the way through. There are no problems with it at all. I played the game when I was little and never played it again, but I remember it being perfect. What? There's no nostalgia here. Even if there was, my Wii's not hooked up. I don't know where my copy of the game is, so I couldn't replay it to be sure. Ow, ow, what was that? Ow. Oh no. A port of my favorite Sonic game ever. I can't resist. It's almost too perfect that this game exists. I couldn't have planned it better myself. Whatever. It's time to play Sonic Colors Ultimate and see if I'm nostalgic for this old game. It's funny that I even questioned that. Of course I'm nostalgic. Even though I replayed it, of course my opinions are still affected by the fact that I played this game when I was young. And before I explain how and why that's a good thing, I should probably talk about the game first. This game released one day after my 3rd birthday. What do you mean you don't know when my birthday is? Fine, I guess you could say this game came out November 11th, 2010. Happy? It was a decent success. The gameplay is identical to Sonic Unleashed's daytime levels, which I described before. The big difference this time is having a overworld map instead of a hub world like Unleashed had, which I forgot to mention. Instead of having 2 acts and then a boss per each zone, like most Sonic games, this game actually has 6 acts and then a boss in each zone. This was a decision made very late in development, after all the level designs were already made. The original plan was to have 2 acts, then a boss. Despite this, not all acts were just split in thirds. Some are actually still intact. Despite this, some are split, and other optional side missions became the rest of the acts. Sonic Unleashed and later Sonic Generations did follow this trend of 2 acts and a bunch of optional side missions. This one is just a rare case of them changing it, and I have no idea why they did that. Although I don't know why they did it, I don't personally mind it. Though I do know that a lot of people do not like being forced to play these previously optional side missions. Sega, why would you do this? You make a bunch of dumb decisions that alienate your hardcore gamers just to go back on it in the very next game. Why would you do this? It makes no sense! Now to get back on track. Each level has 5 red rings. This is actually the first time these have ever appeared in a Sonic game, and they're still used as the main collectible in 3D Sonic games, or as microtransaction currency in their mobile games. By collecting these, you unlock levels in the Sonic Simulator, a special world in the game. If you collect every level by collecting every single one of the 180 red rings and beat all those levels, you unlock Super Sonic. If you just randomly did the math using the info that I gave you, of 180 red rings total, 5 red rings per level, 6 levels per world, you would know, or you would know if you just played the game, that there are 6 worlds. These are incredible! Tropical Resort. Well, you inevitably pictured what I mentioned, an interstellar amusement park. It's a beautiful, bright, amazing world that encapsulates this whole game. Sweet Mountain. Essentially a kid's dream about a candy, sweets, and ice cream world. Starlight Carnival is the devs tried to make the most beautiful world they could, and it was really held back by the Wii hardware. There's a special planet that we'll skip for now. Aquarium Park. The required water worlds at a platform. It's actually fun by having more of an exploration theme through the ability to fly in the water. Finally, we have the Asteroid Coaster. My least favorite world. I just find it generic compared to all the other worlds. The reason I did not talk about the fourth world right away is because of the story. This game's story is so lackluster. Probably the most underwhelming, that's the right word, yeah. Most underwhelming parts of this whole game. Spoiler warning, of course, but it's really not much. Eggman made a theme park in space. Now that I think about it, what's the name of Eggman's theme park? Hold on. Here it is. Eggman's Interstellar Amusement Park. The literal genius could not come up with a name for his crazy amusement park plan. Alright, so he makes this huge metal ball amusement park thing. Then he puts 5 giant celestial bodies around it. 2 of those celestial bodies were small planets. Eggman put 5 celestial bodies, as well as his typical artificial planet, around Mobius. From the looks of this, it was only a few thousand miles up. It would have cleared the planet's atmosphere, but the magnetospheres of these planets would be messing with each other, causing all sorts of mechanical problems. Then gravity would pull in, crashing this whole amusement park down onto the planet, causing an extinction of everything. Maybe that was Eggman's plan? No, he just wants to use the power of these aliens who live on one of the 2 planets to make a mind control laser. That's the plan? Why not? Why capture the other things and create the other things? Oh my god! Why not, I don't know, encapsulate the planet with the aliens inside of a death egg like you did in Sonic CD? Whatever. These aliens are called wisps, as Sonic and Tails quickly figure out. So of course they would go and investigate Eggman's Deathlands. These wisps have a power called Hyper Go-On, which, along with the species of wisp, can be used to give Sonic special temporary abilities. These all feel really decent to use. Even the blue wisp, which I remember not liking that much as a kid. My favorite is the drill wisp, allowing you to dig through multiple environments at insane speeds. So yeah, Eggman captures these wisps and drains the Hyper Go-On out of them. Turn them into Frenzy or Nega wisps, which power his mind control laser. And it does work, as we see when he tests it on Tails. This scene is the one reason why I want to kill Eggman. Sonic and Tails figure out the plot and go to each of the 5 worlds to deactivate the generators. Wait, that's why he needed the planets? To build generators on them? These generators are tiny and could fit on the central planetoid or on Planet Wisp. Even if they couldn't for some reason, it needs to be on the celestial bodies. Why not substitute for the Chaos Emeralds instead of giving them out as prizes in your Sonic simulator? All the generators are destroyed, but Eggman uses backup energy anyway. Because it turns out, the generators were just a trick to keep Sonic busy while he got the rest of the Nega or Frenzy Wisps to power his mind control laser. It's actually pretty smart. The ray fires, and it blows up. Yeah, a piece of the World 1 boss got stuck, which leaks the mind-controlled Nega power, which I guess is flammable? This leads to a bad scramble to get out. Sonic shoving Tails out of the way to save his life, and an escape level. Guess what time it is? It's time for a rant. This level is the worst. Remember my Sonic 1, 2, and 3 video, I talked about how terrible Mecha Sonic is? This level is infinitely worse. I did not beat the game when I was little because of this level. It is the second to last level, and it takes 2 to 3 minutes to beat. It's not too bad, just a culmination of the running segments of the levels that we have done up to this point. The problem comes in the final segment of the level, in which a robot from earlier in the game appears. It shoots lasers down 2 of the 3 lanes, and you have to dodge them. If you get too close to it, you get melee attacked, and it's almost impossible to dodge, so you want to boost to stay ahead of it. That triggers the laser attacks, which itself is not too bad, but if you boost too far, you can't see what lanes the laser will hit, making it a blind guess. You have to balance your speed, which is so difficult to do without losing all your boost. It is completely unfair, but after a ton of trial and error, it is doable. Barely. Eggman catches up to Sonic, and final battle is fought, which is just a remix version of a previous boss. It's actually a pretty cool boss fight. Eggman attacks using wisps, which I love. I find it fun when a boss in a game has similar or the same powers to the player. It's not exactly like that. It's more of Eggman using the wisps in a different way to Sonic, but it's still cool that he can attack thanks to our power-ups. Each time Eggman is hit, we rescue some wisps from the mech, until we have every type and we do a super power attack that tears right through Eggman. He is lost to space as we survive on the planet, and the wisps teleport their own planet away. The end. Boom. I reviewed the game. Now to fulfill my promise on why my nostalgia is good. Wait a minute. That wasn't Sonic Colors on the Wii. I was playing this thing on the Switch. Oh yeah. This is the remastered version, Sonic Colors Ultimate. Might as well talk about the differences. In the mighty year of 2021, Sega released an up-resed port of Sonic Colors onto the Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. Even though the next-gen systems exist for PlayStation and Xbox. The Switch got 1080p in 30 frames per second, while the other systems got 4K 60 frames per second. I'm not jealous, you are! Not only is this port getting the game off of the Wii and showing it to so many more people, but it also added new content in the form of 4 major additions: settings, time attack, easy mode, and alternate easy mode. A new option satellite was added to the map, which allows you to use park tokens that were added around the levels to purchase new shoes, gloves, auras, and boost effects for Sonic. I went with some stylish Sterling Gamer Orange, while also igniting Sonic with an eternal flame that water could not save him from. This is a cool addition that I hope they keep for Sonic games going forward. It is very minor, but very nice. In this new option satellite, you can also buy markers for the new time attack mode called Rival Rush. Instead of doing the normal time attack mode like an insane person, you can race Metal Sonic on one stage from every world. This is actually a super cool little addition that I'm surprised they added after being used to Nintendo ports for so long. A lot of work for a second time attack mode. Along with the park tokens hidden around levels, these giant Tails heads are also dotted around. These entirely replace lives. Now you have infinite traditional lives, but having one of these tail saves, as they're called, Tails will save you from pits. It's nice that it gives Tails, the best video game character ever, some more screen time in this game. But it raises a question. Does Tails choose not to save Sonic if Sonic does not have a Tails save? The final major addition is the Jade Ghost Wisp, a new type of wisp that was originally added in Team Sonic Racing. When equipped, you can go through walls if there is an enemy or a marker to latch onto. This can bring you to new secret areas primarily filled with park tokens and Tails saves, but some can act as shortcuts or alternate paths to red rings. It's a cool addition, but the weakest one for me. It feels tacked on far more than the other new things. I still very much appreciate the new areas that this adds, and the commitment that the devs had. This port is not perfect. There are a lot of glitches, primarily on the Switch version. A lot have been patched out, but some persist. Let's read a list of Switch-only glitches for this game. Wait, hold on. It says here that running segment that I talked about a few minutes ago, it's made so much worse by a Switch-only glitch. The Switch version does not render warnings for where the laser should be, which is why I needed to manage speed just to see little flashes on the robot itself. You have to be kidding me! I love this game to death. It is the one and only Sonic game that I have mega nostalgia for, and it introduced me to the 3D Boost series. Now, my nostalgia for the game is a good thing because it's nostalgia. If you played games when you were young, you most certainly have a game, or maybe a few games, that you are nostalgic for. Nostalgia is a weird thing. A lot of people look negatively towards it since it clouds our vision for a game and maybe makes us think that's better than it actually is. For example, if I'm being completely honest to myself, Sonic Generations is a better game than Sonic Colors. But I still prefer Sonic Colors to Sonic Generations. Nostalgia drives people to like video games. It brings people back to video games after not playing them for years. Keeps the video game hobby, business, everything alive. If we didn't have nostalgia, there would be a lot less gamers, and even gamers that would still be gamers would not be as passionate about gaming. Nostalgia drives the industry, drives our desire, gives us positive emotion to certain games that we don't get otherwise. Games are made to be fun, but games that we have nostalgia for, it's a completely different feeling. It's almost like the next step in gaming. But it's old games. It preserves the old games by people wanting to play them, which then shows off the games to a new generation. Nostalgia keeps gaming alive, keeps old games from falling into obscurity, and just elevates games, make them something more. But who am I kidding? I could sit here for like 15 minutes on end talking about old games, and people sit here and watch me do it. Makes no sense. I hope you all loved this video. See you guys later. Bye.